when Johann Sundberg published an article in Scientific American that, acoustics of the singing voice. And he pointed out two quite significant facts. One of them is that sopranos tune their first foreman to the fundamental when they're in the upper range. We've already looked at that a little bit. We'll look at more, but anyway, that's one thing. And the other one is that in the singer's foreman, now you see, what is the frequency up here? We're way up here in, say, 2700, just short of 3,000 usually, but it can also go beyond 3,000 as you see here. So, what is significant is that the orchestra is much louder down at this point than it is here. So, this stands out from the orchestra. And the second thing is that the human ear is much more sensitive in this region. Now it's interesting actually to speculate why that's the case, but there it is. It's the fact that we're much more sensitive there. So his point was the singer's foreman allows the voice to be heard emerge from the orchestra sound. And if you're an opera singer, you've got all that competition, can be very helpful. So now one of the consequences of that is that people would say, oh yes, okay, now I get it. It's the singer's foreman that allows the voice to be heard. It's the singer's foreman that is the mark of a quality voice. Well, okay, but then people would say, that's a good voice, obviously singer's foreman. Well, no, that's not so obvious. And so in other words, singer's foreman became, for the people who don't use feedback, was the same thing as saying quality voice. Well, no, that's why it's quite important to be able to look at it and determine, is this what we're really hearing? But to go back to these two, yes.
I have a question about the singing.
Please, yes.
Where is it performed in the vocal?
Pardon?
Where is it performed?
In the vocal tract? Well, you know what? Vocalist doesn't tell you that. And of course, there's plenty of speculation, and you can also point out, I think this is a very nice explanation that shows that in the larynx tube, the larynx is shaped in a way that has, where there's the vocal folds, and then above there's a narrowed opening, and that little tube has its own frequency, and that's approximately around the singer's foreman. But I'm not saying that's where it all comes from. In any case, that's one, at least something which has been documented to a certain extent. But that's not something that singers can say, all right, I'm going to now narrow the opening of my larynx tube, and then we'll get a... See, and that's why I say singers don't know what they're doing. Okay, now look back to here for a moment. Now look, with Pavarotti, notice, by the way, what about his singer's foreman? Does Pavarotti have a singer's foreman? Well, yeah, but it's down at least 10 decibels below where this third harmonic is. So this sound gets through. This is the loudest part that you hear, and in a way, I don't say you have to choose between one or another, but singers tend to do that. And in fact, well, I'll show you a third version in a moment. But in any case, there we are with, you see, it's this sixth harmonic as he hangs on there all the way through. That stays very strong. Pavarotti hangs onto his third harmonic. And here's also an interesting fact. When Pavarotti sings un trono, this is an F right here. What's the strong harmonic?
Fundamental.
Pardon?
Fundamental.
The second, yes. No, it's not the fundamental. Look, because you know that these are all evenly spaced, and so there's got to be another one in there, even though this is much stronger than the first harmonic, the fundamental.
So maybe we still tend to think of the fundamental as the clearest, most audible harmonic, I guess.
Well, you can.
We tend to think of it as that.
Yes, pay obeisance to the first harmonic, because that's what we call it. That's what it is. This is an F, F4. Okay. Now notice. So this is Pavarotti's F4, and look at Domingo's F4. What harmonic is that? That's very clearly the third. Look, these are the same pitch, so obviously, if here we go. Second, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. There's more orchestra in at this point, but yeah. Excuse me?
How do you know it's the third? You know that it's the third.
How do I know it's the third? Well, all right, look. There's a lot of interference with the orchestra, but look, here's a harmonic, here's a singer, here's a singer, here's a singer. And furthermore, I identify the pitch. We honor the fundamental. I say, aha, we know this is an F, and an F has a fundamental around 350 hertz, and so we're in business. No, that's not rocket science at all, but it can be. You have to know what you're talking about. Of course, you don't say, well, I don't know what harmonic that is. You better know what harmonic it is, especially if you hear it. What's the difference? What does this mean, though, that Pavarotti? Let's just listen to those beginnings. Okay. How does that sound to you? What's the?
The first one was more chesty. Domingo?
More chesty.
More darker. The other.
It's now I would say more open, which is also more chesty, if you like.
It's more meaty, more meat in it. Like the Domingo feels.
Well, okay, you can. This is the problem when singers start talking about this. But if we have this, you see, and then B.
That was Domingo.
Oh, come on, go all the way through. I'll play it again.
המפריד יותר זה הפברוטי, וזה היה מובן Can you tell us once again who is Pavarotti and who is Domingo? Because
they're both singers.
What is that?
Yeah, look. Pavarotti and Domingo are sort of the dominant tenors at a certain point in recent history. Domingo is still going strong. Pavarotti died, in fact, just shortly before my book was published, so I could use it. All right, but there's a real difference. And where are the formants higher? Yes.
They are asking which recording Domingo and which one.
Yeah. The upper one is Domingo, and the lower one is Pavarotti. Now, of course, this is in the book, you know. This is how the book begins.
Pavarotti, king of second force of Germany.
Yeah, right. Well, you know, you need something to get the attention of the singers. And that gets their attention. So, oh, okay. And if we then look at the B flats, because this is the money note, you know, you have to understand even if you're not an opera singer, in the opera Aida, which is a very big deal for the tenors, you come out very close to the beginning of the thing and make this big speech. And it's pretty nerve-wracking because, and then if the B flat, which is hard, if that isn't good, you are in big trouble for the night. So this is a huge challenge. Yeah, I mean, you know, this is what it all comes down to in opera singing. Okay. Now, look, where are the formants? In fact, I'm going back now for a moment to Domingo's F and Pavarotti's F. So, who has higher formants in these two? Pardon?
Higher formants?
Higher formant frequencies, okay? Okay, now who says the top one, in other words, Domingo, has higher formant frequencies?
The boost is higher.
And who says that Pavarotti has higher formant frequencies? Okay. No, some people are not voting, but that's okay. You can. The winner is Pavarotti, of course. Sure. Why is it? Where is Domingo's first formant when he's singing the F? His first formant is here below the second harmonic. Because that's what, remember, in passaggio, he gets over by F. F is a kind of pivot note in, and Domingo, who started as a baritone and is kind of a lower voice to begin with, then sticks to, so it sounds, let's say, mellower or something, and rounder and darker, and then this is kind of open, and that's it. All right,
Could you explain that again?
Pardon?
Could you explain that again?
Explain it again? Yeah, if you look, in other words, Pavarotti is a little more like a yell because he's got the first formant on the second harmonic. And second formant is picked up the third harmonic, and the first formant has given up the second harmonic. It's lower. That's what passaggio was about.
Does Domingo use the third formant?
No, second formant, third harmonic. Okay, and I know you think, I don't know, anyway, get used to it if you're going to look at the singing voice, because it's pretty basic. All right. Now, look, the idea is not to be some kind of smart guy who says, hey, I know all about singing, about opera singers now, and I can tell you about the singers Foreman and Domingo and Pavarotti. People use that kind of thing, of course, because it sounds very wise. And singers like to talk like that. Well, you know that singers like to talk. Look how much talking goes on in this crowd. Everybody's talking at once. And singers, let's face it, a lot of what singers say, in fact, the major currency of singers talk is bullshit. And bullshit doesn't mean that it's nonsense, wrong. The point of bullshit is to talk on about something and sound that you're really saying something important, while what it's really about is what a good time I'm having giving a speech, you see. That's the idea. And furthermore, singers, bullshit results in some good singing often with singing teachers. They say, no more, whatever. So, we don't knock it, but we just put this. Let me just show you one other thing.
Unconsciously, they just do it, and they don't have a clue sometimes what they do.
That's
הם עושים משהו נכון, אבל בלי לחשוב ובלי לדעת.
אבל זה סבירים לי במטאפוריה.
הוא לא אומר,
גם זה עובד.
ויש דרך כזאת
שיהיה איזשהו חיבור בין מי כבר יודע לעשות, תדע מה אתה עושה.
אני חושב שזה מאוד פוליטי, זה אומר שזה תנועה, נכון? רוצים לדעת הכל.
Okay, now listen to this one. You know, we listened to 84 different Celeste Aida arias that sung by 84 different singers or different performances, and I have an article on that, and I'll send you that. I'll send it to anybody who wants it, but you know. Anybody recognize that singer? He goes back a little before your time, but he was very famous. No, that is Björling. Jussi Björling. I mean, he's intuitively a wonderful singer. He just, yeah. Now look, I'm going to put Björling, watch what happens. I'm going to put him down here. He goes up here. That's where he hits the B flat. So is he a singer's format singer, or is he a second format singer? Pardon? He's a singer's format. Yeah, look at it. Okay? Now, this is, well, yeah, because way up here, you see, this is what is prevailing. This is the strongest part. This doesn't look like Pavarotti at all, actually. This is tilted that way. But now Björling hangs on. Look, watch. Wait a minute. Now we're getting a real crescendo at the end. He says, I'm going to end with a big bang. Whoa. Now what's happened? What's this? Come on, I mean, this is the dominant harmonic. It's the second formant on the third harmonic. This is the, yeah. All right, so all I'm saying is that these are not mutually exclusive. And here's, by the way, a very interesting thing, I think. Let's see, I want to do Domingo. Play file. 10-4? Yes. All right, now listen. All right, I'm going to stop there. Now, we heard an F twice. I told you that F is a kind of pivotal note. We heard an F twice. Are they the same? I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to play it again. Yeah, we're vicino al sol. And forget the vicino al sol at this moment. Now look, he sings un trone vicino al sol, this. Okay. Sol.
Cover it. Sort of.
Indie. Okay. And then he sings. Un trone.
The second one is the sixth.
Well, this may be just respect for the Italian language, but although suol is also open, you know, officially in Italian. Italian has open and close O, but it's not like German, which is O and O. I mean, huge difference, or French. It's modest difference. So they fake, you know, you can go either way. So when he sings sol, where is his first formant? When he's doing this softly. Yeah, well, all right, so boing, yeah.
The first one is an O, the second one is an A.
Yeah, so he opens the second one,
Yeah.
and like Domingo or like Pavarotti, and he sings the first more like Domingo. Anyway, this is maybe too refined for a non-singing audience, but for singers, they care a lot about these things, you know. And then, do you sing that F open, or do you sing it covered?
Can you give us also examples?
Pardon?
Women or only men?
Oh well, yeah, I got lots of women. Yeah. We got women. Hey. The book. We don't discriminate. I mean, believe me, there's plenty of women.
I hope so.
Yeah. All right. Look, that was just a little thing about singer's formant. So the singer's formant is not, yes? Oh, okay. Now you cut us off at what? You have another 10 minutes is the idea?
I think so, but yeah. I mean, the food is here, so it's up to you.
Yeah. Okay. All right, now done. Let's see. I have a little list, and I will go on. Okay, you know, I talk about a dominant harmonic, and this is dominant. You know, if it's say 10 decibels stronger than anything else around, then what it's going to do is pretty much take over the sound thing. It doesn't mean it's the only thing, and the sound is complex, and the smaller stuff matters greatly. But when you're talking about form and tuning, you're usually talking about then dominance matters. Okay. Yeah, all right. Oh, let's just talk about form and tuning and form and tracking. Now I have to. Another. Okay. Yeah. Oh. Oh. Oh no! Whoa. All right. Oh, that's 2122. Let me just see. No. Get lost. Okay, I take it back. I need the. No, I'm not going to do it. Okay. We jump on. Form and tuning, by the way, is we're talking about you have a single sustained note, and you adjust the performance so that you get. That's what we saw. This is form and tuning. If you're moving through, if you're saying going through a series of notes, like a scale, well, it's also possible to get to tune in one place and then keep the same dominance as you move to a different pitch.
Can I ask you something about this?
Yes.
I'm sure you're practicing it yourself. Once you are, looking at your voice.
Right.
Would you actually tune by changing the position of your tongue?
Yeah,
or,
sure.
Or experimenting with the heights of the larynx, or
Yeah. I mean, you all of these things are open, and that's kind of what you do. But it doesn't mean that you should be doing that while you're out there performing.
no,
That's why these things.
The experimental part of it.
Yeah, this is fooling around and saying, okay. And Pavarotti would in fact demonstrate like that. He said, "No, we don't say, this is covered and this is open or whatever." I mean, and that was a kind of standard thing from his teacher. He'd make them be able to manage this at all levels. He'd go whatever, he'd do it on command. And then you get very used to it, and then you sing the pitch and it's there. And a little bit like what I showed yesterday, if I leap up, leaving the formant in place and then say, that gives me the feel of the upper note done correctly, then that's a kind of pattern I say, okay, I get used to it. And that's the training that comes from it. But first you have to find it. But yes, you do. And, okay, we didn't mention this yet, but there's a whole thing on the the shape of the vocal tract. The vocal tract, you can consider, well, all right, we'll get started on this in any case. You need to understand what is a so-called Helmholtz resonator. A Helmholtz resonator it's a cavity that contains, well, air, and then it has an opening. So, and these things they tune, and this is how a flute, this is how many wind instruments work. You know, they play a certain pitch. What is the pitch? That depends on these two things. Now, the body of it, the air that's contained, if there's more, it's going to, it's a little like the model of resonance is a spring. You have a spring with a weight, and you bounce it, and it goes. The weight, if the weight is greater, it's going to go slower. If the weight's and opposite, and if the spring is stiffer, it's going to go faster. Well, the equivalent of greater weight in this case is what happens at the opening of this cavity. If you extend a tube on it, then you have a mass of air that has to move. That is increasing the weight. If you open it, it goes much quicker. That then raises the format. And if the body is larger, then it's going to go down. And you see, if I really lower my larynx like that and come along with very big, then you think, well, that is a big guy. Whereas if I take the same pitch and talk down there like that, the same pitch, it doesn't matter. But I'm just a dinky little guy. It's this tiny little track. Anyway.
Actors use these things very often if they want to have a certain character.
Well, of course, yeah. I mean, this is all stuff that you do intuitively, and people. I mean, when you think of imitation, it's enormously complex, imitating a sound, and not all animals can do it. Believe me, I mean, very few of them can. But you get these guys who can. I hear that sound. Hey, whatever. I mean, you hear. Yeah. But that's what we use.
But,
yes.
all this, singing and also meditation, it's all about intuition.
It's what?
It's all about intuition. I mean, none of us, intuition.
Intuition, yeah, sure. That's how we do it. But what the feedback gives you is what it is, what is the result. You see, we're also looking at the result. The result is, you hear something, that's a good sound, that's great. Let's record it and let's see what we've got. Then you say, can I do that? Well, let me try and see what my result looks like. Well, not exactly. Or, yeah, it's pretty close. This is the kind of basic mode of exploring these things. Okay? I mean, and then how does it sound? And of course you also have to ask yourself, is that really how I want to present myself as a singer?
Yeah, it's very interesting because I think voice lesson is always a lot about imitation.
Of course, yeah.
About what?
Imitation. Sure, well, imitation is sure. That's the normal way that things happen. That's why you get certain teachers who are very good at teaching people who are very like their own voice. I had a colleague at Syracuse who was pretty famous and attracted some very good singers. It sounded like her. She didn't know much what to do with other ones, but so what, you know? I mean, she was, yeah, well. Okay. Well,
I wanted to ask, so in general, if a student or a singer analyze those diagrams,
yeah.
so he can improve his singing by the position of the larynx, that he sees what happens. So,
Singing, sorry.
I mean, when a singer like me or somebody else is expert with what you, all those details here.
Yeah.
So after he sees this map and he analyzes this whole thing, he can improve his singing.
Well, okay, look, that, I mean, to me, the best teacher ultimately is yourself when with good feedback, but you need a lot of information from outside to find the right track.
So this can be
It's a combination, sure.
so it can be very useful.
Well, that's right.
Yes.
You know how to work with it.
I've found it extremely useful. Look, now this is also a little bit basic. We've got, say, 3 minutes, so I want to give you a quick sketch of what the vocal tract, what are the elements of the vocal tract. It's a complex space, of course. It's everything from the vocal folds to the lips.
So it's both formant 1 and formant 2, basically.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Well, and all the rest as well, the higher formants as well, but
Okay.
especially the 2, because this is what we're brilliant at manipulating. Look how easily people speak, you know.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
little kids can do it. Come on.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So, and so there's one way of looking at it, an important way of looking at it, is there's a back cavity and there's a front cavity. And the division of the front, let's close that. The division is in the tongue constriction, because the tongue is shaped in a way that it can approach the opposite side of the vocal tract. In other words, back there, the hard palate, the velum back there, or even up front, the alveolar ridge, depending on where this constriction is. And what is in front is the front cavity, and what is in back is the back cavity. And as a general rule, the first formant is more affiliated, has to do more with the back cavity, and the front cavity is then determined by the tongue, by the cavity, the front cavity in front of the tongue constriction. So when we're going front vowels, you see that? Oh, no, that one. Not this one, just run. E, oh, I've already dismantled, never mind. I'm moving that, the tongue constriction. And as the front cavity gets larger, then the back cavity has given up space. So when you have with front vowels, they go in opposite directions. If I go from E